the Pro of the Week goes to Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, the soon-to-be MVP, had 252 total yards with 4 touchdowns in Baltimore's 34-10 blowout over Houston on Saturday. So, again, congratulations to Lamar Jackson. And that brings us to Lamar Jackson, who I think silenced all the critics. I thought it was a bit over the top. Well, it's great. Lamar is a regular season quarterback. Yeah, we already know he won an MVP before. He was unanimous, and then he didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's what was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Until and be careful. Watch out for those Texans. They're playing with house money. They got nothing to lose. I'd be afraid to play. Oh yeah. Lamar did his thing.
Yes.
Had over 100 yards on the ground. We talked about this, Kerry. You brought this up before. He has less touchdowns now because he just gives them up. He doesn't feel like he needs to run those in the red zone during the regular season. And guess what he did on Saturday? He ran them in. Yeah. So don't think that he can't run them in when he wants.
If they were trying to force feed him touchdowns, they could have. And that was a point that I made early on because I actually watched him. He's my boy, obviously. He went to my school, so I've seen him for a long time. So, yes, if they wanted to get him touchdowns to win an MVP,
they could easily do that, yeah. Right. But I'm going to say this. I said this earlier this year, that he's going to wind up being the Joker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That Nikola Jokic, people were like, he's just a regular season guy. He can pile up stats, but there were people who did not vote for him for his 3rd straight MVP and held the postseason against him.
For sure.
That is no way he should get 3 MVPs in a row, and he hasn't even won a championship. That was the narrative out there.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't think it's fair because it's supposed to be a regular season award. We should base it off the regular season. So you shouldn't hold that against him.
Yeah.
But what did he do? The Joker had a historic postseason, and he showed people how good he was. He was unstoppable.
Man, he had an all-time great playoff run, and he just stamped his career. I mean, for him, obviously we knew how good he was during the season, regular season, which we talked about. I mean, he won the award 2 times in a row.
Right.
And obviously you can watch him play and see without him, that team is – they would be middle of the row or not even a playoff type of team because he controls so much of that.
Absolutely. And now here's Lamar with his chance to do that. This guy has been so focused. Mm-hmm. Shame on all those teams that wouldn't even make an offer to him, who passed. Kerry, how could you be an owner or a general manager, seriously, know that guy that the Ravens have allowed you to make an offer to him, and you don't even put in an offer for that guy?
Yeah, and they got what they deserved,
which is nothing. I mean, I just don't even understand it. And there are people, I don't know how you watch Saturday's game and you don't realize by now this guy's a chance to have 2 MVPs, right? We think he's going to win the MVP.
He's going to win MVP, yep.
2 MVPs by age 27.
Yep.
And has a chance to win a Super Bowl here. All of a sudden, it's going to be hard to ignore him. And what he's not your Patrick Mahomes or your or a guy who's in the pocket, kind of regular quarterback guy. But Kerry, what does he bring to the table? Why is he such a headache for defenders? Because you don't know. And even in this game where he came out and he started running again.
Yeah.
Right? Where they probably were like, oh, well, he's been throwing. He doesn't run nearly as much. And what did he do? He started running.
And you could tell by the play call, by the game plan for the Texans. They were playing a lot of man-to-man. That's a cardinal sin against a running quarterback.
Right. And
so you could see that just from the beginning, right? And Lamar is, obviously we say he's a dual-threat guy. He's not a dual-threat guy. He is a passing quarterback that can run, and that's a difference. Cam Newton was a dual-threat quarterback. He couldn't beat you in the pocket all day, and that's a fact.
Right.
He couldn't make the throws, but he was a dual-threat guy. He would be the definition of that for me. Lamar right now, and where his game has graduated to with the new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, he's put him in a position to have complete control of that offense. And
he feels like it when you watch, like he's in control of everything that's going on and everybody plays off of him.
Yeah.
right? That's what it looks like to me.
No, this is his team. This is his offense. Where in prior years, he was running what was being called at the line. And so when you do that, if the game plan's not perfect, which is never going to be, teams, I remember 2 years ago when teams were legit playing him in man and zero coverage because they knew Baltimore had no answers. Because they're going to run the play that's called at the line. Now, you can't blitz this guy. And so when you get to the point of playing quarterback that way, being able to have answers, you see what's happening right now. You get to see what the kid can do. And he's, I mean, if you have any doubts about him now, you're just a hater.
Right. You
really are.
Because there's no way you could watch this kid now and really have questions. We talked about it before. Bill Polian, who's in the Hall of Fame as a general manager with the Colts, and I can't remember the other team, but with the Colts mostly.
The Colts,
remember, he told me he should go try out as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
This guy's about to win a second MVP, and you were telling this guy he should go as a wide receiver?
And the crazy part about it is I saw him play when he was in college. I played on the professional level.
You never thought that he couldn't play quarterback.
I was telling you guys early on. Remember when I would call into the show as a guest as just a guest.
Right.
I was like, no, he can make all the throws, and I don't know why that conversation's happening, but it's because of people like Apollyon that people respect saying that about him, and then that starts to run the narrative for other people to make those claims as well. But I mean, like I said, if you have any questions now, then. Yeah. You know what you are.
And the same thing, you still buying that phony narrative that he can't win in the postseason? Because I don't know what game you were watching. And I know he came in 1-3, and it doesn't mean it would be different if you never won a playoff game.
Right.
Then maybe I could say, I don't know. Matthew Stafford went 0-3 with the Lions, and he had Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
People were like, I don't know if he could ever, win you a playoff game.
Right.
Okay. But he did win a playoff game. It wasn't like he never won, and his numbers weren't that great, But if you look at this year and how much he's progressed and moved on, fully healthy all year, this guy's been hurt the last couple of years. It was never when he was healthy. He's been great. Look, they win. Go look. They win at a 75% clip.
Yes.
Go find me another guy, NFL quarterbacks who win at a 75% clip. It's ridiculous when he was in there.
He's a winner, man.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. And that what that means and what that details for anybody playing that position, that's what you want that position to be, right? You want that guy to be a winner. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look like your dad's favorite team back in the day.
Right.
It's different. He's rewriting and reshaping that position. And moving forward, if your quarterback is just going to stand in the pocket, he's probably not going to be your quarterback because you got to make plays with your feet in today's NFL.
You got to get out of there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he has the escapability. He can run on. He can do whatever he seems that he wants. And now, and then the other thing too is that's just they run the football too.
They're a complete team.
Am I right? Like what was that set? Didn't they rush for 200 yards?
And yeah, for sure, easily because he had 100.
He had
himself.
100, right?
And the other thing about the Ravens and Lamar's stats, they've been blowing teams out. So a lot of times they don't have to throw the ball.
All the good. Go look at it. Rob G, we came up with that stat. I think they were 7-1 against teams over 500.
Yeah.
And they had beaten all the playoff teams. And they had won by an average, this is going into Saturday, of 21, an average of 21 points that they had beaten these good teams. And what did they do to the Texans? 34-10. They win by 24.
Yeah.
I mean, this is they've done this all year long.
This is now who they are.
Right. This is not a fluke. This is not like, I don't know how they're winning. No. Yes, we do.
We know. They're a complete team.
His name is Lamar.
And Lamar Jackson, yes.
Led by Lamar, and they have a complete team. Their defense is what I call a Super Bowl winning defense.
Yeah.
Like they can win defensively. They can win by running the ball. They can pass the ball.
And you know the other thing about that team? They're led by the players. When you depend on your head coach for motivation, if you're leaning on him to be that guy, your team's probably not good.
Yeah, you need somebody in one of the players who's out there.
This team, Lamar Jackson, is definitely the leader on offense. And on defense,
John Harbaugh, please, can you stop dancing? Like, did you see that?
I did see that.
Dude.
It was Saturday Night Fever all over
It
again.
was.
Yeah.
Where was his white gabardine pants on? I mean, I was like,
he's not Travolta. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go.
let
Not
that
Travolta.
go. Yeah.